Okay, guys, you've got Daryl here with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, what I want to do tonight here, I've been having so many brainstorms here just in this last couple of days here to really help you guys to really understand what you need to do from a complete flat start to be able to get to 10,000 a month, because that's like the magic number that everybody talks about, is being able to make $10,000 a month in ongoing income. Would you guys agree with that? Pretty much straight across the board. If you ask somebody, hey, so give me an idea. I mean, how much money do you need to make to be able to leave your job? They typically will say, if I could make $10,000 a month, that's sort of like a gateway for most people. That will propel them from, sort of a place where they don't have to worry about their bills and they have a little bit of, leverage or cushioning area to springboard, right? So a person can be at 10,000 a month and they can springboard up to $25,000 a month really, really fast, okay? Because I'm going to show you how you can do a couple of things. Number one, you need to learn how to leverage your content, okay? Number two, you need to learn how to leverage your team, okay? I'm going to show you how to do both those sort of concepts. Now, one of the things that I'm going to tell you guys is this. If you are not doing this right here, okay? Now keep in mind, learn, implement, and share. You don't have to know everything, guys. This is where most people go wrong when it comes to being a leader, okay? If you know something and somebody else doesn't know something, you know more than them. And if you put out something that you've learned where you have results from, and you're sharing your screen talking about what you did, how you did it, how long it took, what the results were, you're just speaking openly about what you just did, right? So you don't feel that you've got to know everything in order to start the process to being a leader. Okay, it's critical that you get this, guys, because if you're not doing this, with what I'm doing right here, right now, you're not cloning yourself, okay? So what I want for you to understand on this particular broadcast is that right now, as we speak, okay, I've got 4 people here on the line. There's more people watching on YouTube, but I'm right now, guys, in other areas of the world. I'm doing presentations. I'm doing millionaire mentoring. I'm talking about how to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes. I'm talking about how to have a $9,000 a day mindset. I've got clone versions of me right now, guys. There's somebody watching me in some area of the world right now, but I'm spending time with you. Now, if you get this, you can have freedom. If you don't, you won't. Okay? Imperative that you get what I'm talking about here. That's the power of the internet. So every time that you do something, it's great to say, like Pat's put out some really good videos in this last little bit, okay? But are the videos creating a bridge to what? That's what you got to ask yourself. Every time you put something out, is it a blog post? Is it a video? Is it a Google Hangout? What's the bridge? Okay, so what problem are you addressing, right? What solution are you talking about, right? And then where do they get the rest of the info? Where do they get the what's behind door number 1, right? And that's this other part here is what most people don't do. So people go, oh, that was a cool video, right? But there's no call to action. There's no draw to pull them in to the next part. And that next part is what's going to make you the money, right? So, you could have a situation where people go, oh yeah, I know that person, right? But that's not going to pay your mortgage, right? So you've got to start to think about your cloning in what value are you providing to the marketplace. So if somebody comes to watch something that you're on, doesn't matter what it is. Is it a mentoring thing? Is it how you did this certain strategy? What are they going to get? If they leave there, do they know something that they can apply to their business today to help them make more money, right? And does that piece of content bridge over to make you money, okay? Because if it doesn't make you money, you're going to start to feel after a while that you're just doing this. What's that? Spinning your wheels, right? You don't want to have that happen, right? Because you just get burnt out, okay? So what you've got to understand in the evolution of your content, okay, is that people want to know that they can get results. Okay, that's what people want to know. They want to know when they're looking at any type of opportunity is this. What do I have to do, right, in order to be able to do whatever it is that you're doing, right? What's it going to take? What's it going to cost? And is it something that I can do, right? That's what they really want to know. So you got to think about this in the back of your mind on how can you posture and position whatever it is that you're talking about so that it makes sense to people. So they go, oh yeah, well that makes sense, right? So that whatever you're talking about has a pull to it, okay? So as an example, so I put out a little post and it says, you know, does anybody here want to find out how within 30 to 90 days you can be making $10,000 a month, right? Now, instantly, if I'm speaking to the listening, right? So anybody who's thinking of that thing in their mind of $10,000 a month, those are the people that instantly go, I do, right? That's your market, guys, right? So if you know some of this information, right, it gives you what? Leverage, right? Because you're speaking to your target market, you're attracting the target market, and now you've got an audience, right? Pretty simple concept when you think about it that way, when you break it down into these little terms, okay? Okay. So what I want for you guys to understand here is that there are people right now in this industry that have 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people on their teams that do not make $10,000 a month, okay? So I want for you to understand the size of these ginormous teams that people really need with an MLM business model to make a consistent $10,000 a month income. Okay, and in the majority of the cases, it's over 10,000 people. Okay, so just know that. Just know that. So when we're talking about these larger incomes, 10 grand and higher, here's what I will tell you. If you want to make $1 million with a conventional MLM business model, you need a small country. And I'm not saying that jokingly or sarcastically, it's factual. You need about 80,000 people to become a millionaire in MLM. That's just fact, right? And if you ask around to people that are top producers and seven-figure income earners, they will tell you that. In fact, Aaron Rashkin's story is very similar to my story. Because I was one of the corporate trainers guys with a company called Gano Excel, right? I had thousands and thousands of people. I was one of the top recruiters in the company, but yet my personal residual income never got over like 4 grand a month, right? And I was one of the people that they were edifying as one of like the top guys, right? As far as recruiting, training, content, everything else, but yet my residual, right, could not peak that $4,000 a month with thousands of people. Thousands, guys. Thousands of people, right? So you really got to understand what the numbers are that are out there that people actually have to achieve in order to make these type of numbers. Okay, so here's what I want for you to understand. Now, it's not like I've just done this once, okay? I've done this multiple times. So I'm telling you for fact that if you can get this into the mindset that I'm talking about, that you can totally change your reality, okay? So the first thing that you have to believe, guys, is that this is really possible, okay? It really is possible to be able to do this, okay? So here's the first thing that you have to accept as truth, okay? You've got to be able to accept this as truth. Pat, can you just mute yourself out there? You've got some humming thing that's going on there. Can you just mute out? Pat, can you mute out your line there?
Sure. Better?
No, you're still not muted. Okay, there you go. Okay, so, no, you're still not muted, Pat. Can you just hit the mute button?
Yeah. Maybe Chad could mute me out?
For some reason, it's not working. The button's not activating. Can you just hit the mute button on your?
Yeah, it's not doing anything.
Okay, maybe log back out and log back in there so we can have a clear line.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing that you've got to realize in this formula that I'm going to teach you tonight is that it is very, very possible to do this, right? You have to accept that. If your mind is thinking, oh, that'll never work, oh, I could never do that, you're already done. You're done right out of the gate. You have to start to speak about the reality of whatever it is that you want, that it's really super easy. Like, you know, every day that I wake up, my Facebook inbox is filled with people that want to join my business, right? Every person that I come in contact with, right, is in transition or breaking point, and they're ready to join an opportunity. You can speak that into your reality, guys. You have to accept that as truth from a quantum physics standpoint, that if your belief system in your body, internally in your body, is stating this to be your truth, it just starts to show up, right? It's a resonance, right? Just like a radio broadcast station. So when I say to people, guys, just so you know, success is a radio broadcast frequency. That's fact. Okay, so whatever you're tuning this into, as far as the vibration, is what's going to start showing up in your reflectors, right? The reflectors are a reflection of what's going on in here, right? What's coming out of here, what you're writing, right? What you're thinking, what you're speaking and writing, and what you're feeling, right? So those factors are going to determine what starts to show up in the reality. Okay. So now this first area, actually, guys, is what stops most people in a pay plan like what we're in. Okay. So this is how I got over that, right? So in the pay plan that we're dealing with, numbers 1, 3, and 5 are pass-ups, right? So how did I get over that mentally? I already projected my brain to number 6, right? That's where my business in my mind started, right? I wasn't thinking about the first person being a pass-up. I wasn't thinking about any of that. My brain is already thinking about the 6th person onwards. So guess what magically happened? Right? Instantly. Because that's what I was projecting out into the reality of what I expected it to be. Right? Money is flowing to me in avalanches of abundance. That's what I believe to be true. Right? I believe that it's easy and effortless to be able to recruit people. Right? That's what I believe to be true. right? So you've got to tap into the feeling. Okay, so what if it was? What if it was really, really super easy to recruit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in a day? What would that feel like in this? What would that feel like in your body? This is what you got to tap into, guys. This is your compass right here. What's going on in here? So if I go, how do I feel? How do I feel? Instantly, I get goosebumps on my arms. You can see them starting to come up, right? Because I'm so anchored with doing this for so many times, over and over and over and over. This is the compass right here. How do you feel? How do you feel in your broadcast, right? That's what's communicating with the electrons, right? Okay, so here's how this works. The first thing that you've got to understand about the industry in general, okay? If a person doesn't want to have a job in this industry, which is the three-way call phone model and the home meetings and that type of a business model, can you make money at it? Sure you can. I mean, I know friends of mine that make really good money at that, right? But I can tell you that the amount of time from when you first start until you actually have any type of freedom, you have no life. It literally destroyed my life, okay? And I'm a really good recruiter, okay? So here's what happened for me. The better you are at that model, the worse your life gets. Okay, so imagine this. Let's say I'm working with 5 people. So it goes 5, 25, 125, 625. So let's say I'm a really good recruiter, and I can recruit people and then get down and help them get their people to get their people to get their people. Everybody wants you to do three-way calls, conference calls, and close their presentations for them, right? So what ended up happening for me was my phone started ringing at 7 a.m. in the morning, and because it was a global business, right, a lot of times it didn't stop ringing until 2 a.m. the following day, right? And then I'd have a little bit of sleep, and then boom, up in the morning, and phone would start ringing at 7 a.m. Darren, I got this guy. You got to talk to this guy. Hey, I got this really good. I got this amazing person, right? Oh, they're a 7-figure incomer. You got to talk to them, right? Constantly, no life, guys. I'm telling you what. And when you're trying to help as many people as you possibly can, and you're at a dinner or you're at a family thing, and your phone starts ringing with people that want a three-way phone call, that model, I'm telling you, is you have literally no life, right? So what I realized is that I needed to be able to clone myself, okay? I needed to clone myself for Millionaire Mentoring. I needed to clone myself. Anytime I had a concept or an idea, I needed to clone myself with it, right? I needed to turn that into a video and be able to put it someplace, right? Now, if I put it on my Facebook wall, guess what happens? I can't find it, right? If I do 15 posts or 30 posts, it gets lost in the shuffle, right? So if I post it to my YouTube channel, right, there's no other branding around it, right? So what I will tell you is this is the importance of just the actual blog, right? If you want to be recognized as a leader, A, you better be putting out some content, and B, you need a hub, right? It doesn't matter what company you're with, right? You could be with Organo Gold or Jeunesse Global or Prepaid Legal. I can tell you that anybody who's sort of a name brand person has a hub, right? They have a hub where they put their training. They have a hub where they put their broadcast. They have that hub. It's a central hub, right, where they can put out quality content, okay? So you've got to understand that every single person that is in our industry needs that. If they want to be recognized as a leader, they need to have a blog, right? Now, what we've done with our Kalatu blog is we've made it as simple and easy as possible in the tech world, right, for a person who's even just a grandma to be able to set one of these up. Because if you're working just with WordPress, it can be really daunting, guys. I'm telling you for a fact, because I've gone through that whole thing when I did my DarrenLittle.com blog, okay? So Well, what plugins are you supposed to use? I don't know. Right now, if you don't know anything about the tech world, right there you're hooked, right? Because you don't know how to add it, what to add, what about the comment area, blah, blah, blah. The Kalatu blog has been specifically set up to take care of all of that stuff for you. So literally within about 5 minutes, right, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, okay, so what's your YouTube channel? Oh, here it is. What's your Facebook page? Here it is, right? What's your LinkedIn? Here it is. What's your Google Plus? Here it is. Boom, you're up, right? It populates all that stuff for you really, really fast. So you can have a blog set up from scratch quickly, easily, and effortlessly. And you don't get one, I believe you get 3 now, right? They just made an announcement, right? And I've been sort of out of loop on vacation, but I believe that you get 3 blogs that you can use. Does anybody know what the actual numbers is? Is it 3, Mary? You're muted there.
I just heard that it was multiple. I haven't actually gone in and seen the number.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay. Okay. So guys, keep in mind that if you were going to be a $10,000 monthly earner in some other MLM that's out there, I mean, I know I've got a friend of mine as an example who has 15,000 people in Solivay, right? He makes less than $4 grand a month in residual income. It's fact, right? Because what companies do is they put in what's called breakage. Now, what's breakage? Breakage is that you have to have certain qualifiers, like X amount of people that have 3 people, or X amount of this in this volume in this leg. Oh, you've got to have 3 legs with X amount of volume and this amount of leaders in them. If you don't, oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, well, you didn't qualify, so you don't get paid on all that volume, right? That's typically how the industry is set up. So who gets the money? Who do you think gets that money, Chad?
The MLM company.
The MLM company gets that money. So if you're not qualified, right, and you don't meet all the criteria, sorry, oh, you know, maybe next week, maybe next month, you know, get more people, get more 3 to get 3 to get 3. If you get X amount of them that get 3, then you'll be qualified for getting all the volume that you actually brought us, but we're not going to give you the check for it because you didn't qualify. That's called breakage, right? All of the companies have it, and they have it for a reason, because they dangle a carrot, right? And then when you're just about there, oh, sorry, oh, yeah. You know, it's like the arcade game, right? Where you've got to get certain amount of little snakes, and then you put all the snakes together, and then you can go up and get a mini little elephant, and then you got to get a certain amount of elephants together to get to, you know, the bigger turtle, and then the 3 turtles together to get to the big, you know, whatever, right? Have you ever been to an arcade? Anybody here been to an arcade before? You know what I'm talking about, right? You take the kids, you get the stuffed animals, and right? That, guys, right there is the breakthrough that I had, because I had this vision, and I went, oh my God, people are missing this. They're totally missing this. Because this is what I did when we first started with this company. Here's what we had. We had a blog. We had mindset training so you could get into the 7-figure mindset, and we had one product. It was a $500 product, and it was called the Costa Rica Intensive, okay? Now, what I was doing at that time is I knew how many people that it took to make 10 grand a month in any other company. So this is what I did. This was my special sauce. So what I did was I took up my calculator and I went, okay, this is really interesting. So in this particular case, guys, if you've got the mindset training and a blog that you can talk about your breakthroughs with an affiliate fee, it only costs 145 bucks. Okay? Now that is within a window that everybody can afford. Everybody can afford $145 to get this path started. And let me show you how easy this is. At that, you're making $87.50 commissions. Okay, now watch this. 10,000 divided by 87.5 equals is 114 people on a team. Okay, so I'm going to go live right now, and I'm going to show you we're going to do a little bit of calculations here, and I'm going to show you how this actually works. Okay. Okay, so let's say, so we're talking about right now, I'm going to make this quite big so that we can see it. So we're talking about a $10,000 monthly income. Okay, that's what we want to show people how to do. Okay, now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put together a whole presentation with a PowerPoint that I don't know what I'm going to call it, like, you know, step up to millionaire or something like that, or, you know, how to step up to a 7-figure in here, or how to step up to a 6-figure income because it's 10,000 a month or whatever. I'll come up with some marketing gimmick around this, and that's called your special sauce, guys. What does that have to do with iPass? Nothing. What does it have to do with Empower Network? Nothing, right? Because I'm going to show somebody a formula so that they have a gateway. It's like a blueprint, okay? So in order to get to $10,000 a month, you need a team and those 114 people are paying okay? So that's that's the target. Now let me show you if you can start to get people thinking about qualifying. What is qualifying? Qualifying means that they have number 1, 3, and 5 out of the way, okay? That's why I tell people focus on 6 and beyond. That's how you get yourself into momentum, guys, just so you know. That's how you open up the gateway so that you're completely surrendered. Now, I talk a lot about being a naked soul. It's completely surrendering and trusting the process, walking forward in complete blind faith that your dream, your vision is going to be true. It's going to become a reality, okay? So you've got to just be okay with that. And that's going to deal with your deservability, your worthiness, your self-love, and your boundaries. And that's where the mirror work comes in, right? That's where, you know, I love you, your first name, just the way you are. I accept myself unconditionally, even though part of me feels I don't deserve to be successful. Do this daily, guys, like push-ups, right? Even if you need to, do it 2-3 times a day. I mean, I've got students of mine that were homeless, and it wasn't enough for them to do just one vision board because the first one didn't look three-dimensional. They did like 6, right? They literally were committed to doing vision board after vision board after vision board until they got, boom, the gateway opened with a 3-dimensional vision board, right? It has stuff in the foreground and you can see the horizons off in the distance. So here's the interesting thing. A lot of people will do that assignment and they'll go, okay, I'm done. I did my vision board. Well, here's the question. Does the vision board look 3-dimensional? Can you put your arm right through it? And what effect does it have on your body? Because if it does not activate the physiology in your body and give you goosebumps, it didn't work. You better do another one. Right? So a lot of people think just because they went through the motions that they've done the assignment. They haven't, right? So it's important that you get that. Same thing, like, you know, Pat went to the car dealership. Well, Pat put out a post and said, guys, my body has literally been vibrating for 5 hours since I left doing this assignment. That's a proper assignment, guys. Because that's the effect that it should have on you when you take a specific action step that I'm talking about here. Okay, so you've got to now think about your team as qualifiers. Okay, who's qualifying? Okay, now let me show you how this works. I'm going to take 114 and I'm going to now divide it by 3. I've got my team down to 38 qualifiers. So if I have 38 times a qualifier, right? 38 times a qualifier, what do I have? Let's take a look. 38 times 3, holy cow, I've got 114. Right? This is how you create less work for yourself. Okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 38 and I'm going to divide that by 3. Guys, I'm down to only 13 people. 13 times is going to equal 30. This is where you can make your subconscious mind go, holy cow, I can do this. This is where a gateway opens to a brand new reality, because all of a sudden it's chunked down. Okay, so what do I mean by that? That means if I've got 13 people, right, on my pay line, remember it doesn't include your qualifiers, 13 people on your pay line that are paying to you, right? And I'm gonna teach these people this stuff. This is like strategy, guys. This is strategy. So if I take this now and I'm going to create a little marketing tool out of this, I'm going to show people how simple that this truly is to be able to get to a $10,000 monthly income. Okay, so there's the first little zone. Okay, so that's done now. So I can now put out a marketing campaign, right, where I'm talking about how simple it is to be able to get to a $10,000 monthly residual income with only 13 people. And people are going, how do you do that? Right? All of a sudden, I've got interest. I've got people saying, tell me how to do that. Can you show me? How do I get to 10 grand a month with a team of only 13 people? Well, let me show you. 13, I'm going to help them get qualified. Now I got 38. I'm going to help 38 get qualified. Now I got a team of 114. Each one of those people has a blog because they're putting out content. They want to be recognized as a what? A leader. Why? Because this is a leadership business model. This is a personal development business model. Right? So if the whole team is on a path of personal development, breakthrough, mindset, right? They're going through the mindset training, but they're also going through unstoppable vision. They're getting tapped into what they want, why do they want it, and what's their driving force. Guess what magically happens, guys? You don't have to worry about attrition, because you've got a team that's becoming better people. Okay, so it doesn't matter if 3 months goes by, 4 months goes by, 6 months goes by, a year goes by, they're gonna stay committed because they're becoming better people. What else is happening? Their marriage is getting better, right? Their relationship with their children is getting better. They're getting a raise at work. Dodie Johnson got a $212,000 raise in 60 days, right? You know, so these type of cool things start happening for people. You know, Pat went out the first night after Millionaire Mentoring, and she won $500 in a lotto, right? Is that coincidence? It's not, guys. That's what starts happening, right? Rex Harris recruited 78 people in 60 days. You know, Eric Green's now a multiple six-figure income earner. He just rolled out a new deal, and in 60 days, I think they generated like $60,000, right, between him and Ray Dietrich. That's what starts happening once you get tapped into this type of information. Okay, now watch this. Okay, so this shows you how to break this down where your subconscious mind is thinking about a little tiny number, right, with a very easy entry price. What's the entry? Okay, the entry is something that everybody can afford. It's $145. I think it's 144.95. It's basically 125 plus 19.95. Okay, so it's 144.95. Okay. So here's a couple of things that I've done. Okay, so if I know that my entry is 144.95 and I can show somebody how to get to a $10,000 monthly residual income using this strategy, okay, here's what I will tell you. The reason that most people fail in their business is this. They have no, okay, that's why they end up failing, right here. So if I'm talking to business owners and they tell me that they're with a company, so I say, so what exactly do you do? And they go, oh, I'm in prepaid legal. Oh, I'm in 5 links. I'm in Organo Gold, right? Here's the strategy that I use. I go, cool. See. Okay, they say 2 years, right? I say to them, if they tell me they're part-time, they're broke. Okay, you got to understand how simple this is. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm with Organo Gold. Cool. You know, great company. I know a bunch of top leaders in that company. How long have you been with Organo Gold? Right? I've been with them for 3 years. Oh, nice. Are you full-time or part-time? I'm part-time. They're broke, guys. If they've been with the company for 3 years and they're still part-time, they're not making any money, okay? So now what I say is, how much money they're making without asking them how much money you're making. All I got to do is ask these questions right there. Okay, that takes me less than 30 seconds to know how much money they're making. Okay, so now I want to know two important questions. Who and I want to know what's budget. I can tell you that most people say, well, I don't have a mentor and I don't have a marketing and advertising budget. Bingo! That's why they're failing, right? So a lot of times I'll ask them, and this is kind of a leverage tool. I go, give me the okay. That's what leaders do, guys. Right there. They want to try to help the person along whatever path that they're on. At this particular point, I'm not trying to recruit them into anything, okay? They tell me they don't have a blog, right, which I already know, because if they did, they would be generating leads, they would be making more money, and they would already be a top recruiter, because that's the formula. You need a hub, you need to offer some value, you need to solve people's problems so that they will opt in, give something of value away for free, people opt in, right? Another part of your list. And now you continue to provide them with more value and let them get to know you over time, and then you lasso them to this, right here, like what we're doing right now, okay? This is the leadership part. And I can tell you this. There's only 2 people so far that I've actually seen do this. Okay, one is Chad Turner, and the other one's Jason Bramble. Jason Bramble just did one, and he posted it in the group. Those two people have made that first step, guys, right? And I want for you to just see it, because you can see it in the group, right? Is that those are the people that are advancing the fastest rate. It's only because they're just following the training. David Wood talks about it. All the top income earners talk about it. You hear me talking about it over and over. So what is it that prevents people from doing this part? This right here is the most important part of the whole formula, right? So if you're missing out on this part, number one, you're not cloning yourself. There's no way that people can look up to you as a leader or see you as a leader, because you're not leading, right? So this right here is the critical, crucial part of your business, which all stems back to what? Leadership. What's the business model? Leadership. It's a leadership model. So a lot of people get into this industry and they don't get it. They think it's a sales pitch business model. It's not, guys. It's not. If you can get the distinction here and realize that the model is different. Do products get sold? Absolutely. What is a person's gateway into this information? They've got to join your team, right? So you can dangle a secret sauce, right? So I could say to a person, well, you know, I'm going to show you right now what I would do after this right now. So I say, well, give me the address of your blog so I can check it out, make some recommendations, see if I can help you. Now, guys, the chance that they're probably not going to have one, right? So I can say here, they told me that they don't have a marketing and advertising budget. I can say this, you know what? How to business company, whatever company that they're in, right? Be a month. That right there, guys, that little tiny thing right there put me into a $10,000 monthly income within 1 month. Right there. Okay, so what I want to do here is, I already know that most people don't have a marketing and advertising budget. I already know they don't have enough money to be able to get the actual training that they require to be a six-figure income earner. I already know that. That's the problem. I already know that they don't have a lot of money. I already know that they've got their auto ship and all the rest of this stuff, and they don't understand the business model. What we're talking about here with our model is something in the industry called a funded. Okay, what is a funded proposal? A funded proposal is where you're going to give away their information, and a little proposal. It has nothing to do with your primary company, okay? Nothing to do with your primary company. So in essence, iPass 2, guys, just so you know, is a funded proposal or a wrapper to be able to help you build your list, right? But what are we really marketing, right? We're really marketing the Empower Network products. So the funded proposal brings people in and it pays to build your list. This is what people don't really get about the whole formula of marketing, right? So what's this? What am I doing right here? What does this have to do with iPass or Empower Network? Nothing, right? This is my special sauce, right? Who here wants to find out how to build a $10,000 monthly residual income with a team of 13 people? Right, I'm going to do exclusive and private webinar. I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to show you step by step and exactly and explain it in detail so you totally understand exactly how it works and why it works and blah, 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 right? So guess what magically happens? I can do two things. I can create this whole thing and put a lead capture page, right? And then get people to opt in, and they can be watching either an automated webinar or a live webinar, right? Now, if I do it as an automated, right, I don't even have to be involved. I could be playing golf, and I can be doing sales pitches 24/7, 24/7. I can go to bed, I can get a solo ad, drive it to a page, and I can be selling memberships, right? Because I'm not asking for a lot of money, guys. Look at this. I'm not asking for a lot of money, right? So I'm going to give them some special sauce, and I'm going to create some mystique around it. So I might say, guys, you know what? If you take action, I'm going to show you how this is all done, but if you take action as a bonus, as okay, dollars. Now I got no resistance. How that works? So what am I doing? I'm teaching people how they can, the gateway for them, the gateway on how they can create a $10,000 income, starting with a team of 13 people with the exact step-by-step blueprint formula on how to do it, how it works, why it works, blah, 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 blah. And in the webinar, I'm going to give more value so they go, holy cow, whatever this is, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I need it. I need it, right? And you can see that it's double the value of the entry price. Now, what does any of this have to do with iPass or Empower Network? Nothing. That's the thing that you've got to understand here, guys. What people want is a blueprint. How do you do this? How does it work? Give me a step-by-step that's easy to follow that's going to get me from a flat start to a $10,000 monthly residual income. Okay, now in this particular model, okay, this right here, guys, was my secret formula. Right here. Right here. That was my secret. This is what became my top recruiter. Okay. Now on another one, on another deal that I rolled out, okay, I knew, so if I take these numbers, let me just see if something happened here. Chad just sent me a message. Maybe I can't, you guys can't see me. Can you unmute?
It's fine now, but your mic was just going in and out.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. So here was the other one that worked for me, and this is where you got to take out your calculator and start doing some number crunching. Okay. So I know, as an example, that if I want, you know, at $87.50 per person, okay, I want 114 people to make it to 10 grand a month. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So let's say that I'm talking to a person and I find their pain. I find some leverage point. So I've identified pain factor. Identified a pain factor in the conversation, right? Let me just move this down. Identified a pain factor in the business. So what I typically will do in my conversation is I'll talk about a specific type of lifestyle. So when I tell you guys that I open up my vault, I open a naked soul, right? I'm really telling you guys the truth. I really do this. So what does that mean? So one time when I was on a major recruiting run, I had just gone back from Cancun, or from Maui last year. During that time that I was in Maui, I was at this beach, okay? So imagine you're right out in the middle of nowhere, like literally right out in the middle of nowhere, and there's this little cove, and up onto the beach comes this giant sea turtle, like huge sea turtle. And it kind of crawls up really, really slowly, and it puts its huge head onto this rock, and it has a snooze. Now, for me to be there right at that very time when this sea turtle came out of the sea and decided it was going to have a snooze, I mean, I'm telling you, it was a life-changing moment for me because I was able to get right up close, literally within like a foot of this thing, and take pictures right close, guys, like a full photo of the sea turtle's head, like with its eyes closed, sitting on the rock and everything else. It was amazing. So, you know, I would say in my chat, it was like, you know, boy, this last year has just been crazy. I mean, I've been traveling so much. I went to, you know, Cancun, and then I went to Maui, and then I went to Miami, and then I went off to Seattle, and then I went back to Miami, and then I went to Washington, D.C., and then I went to Bellingham like 4 different times, and now I'm going on a Caribbean cruise. Do you get to travel much? Now, what's my goal? I want to identify a pain factor, right? Now, chances are they're probably going to say, well, I wish I really could travel, but I don't have the money, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect them to their emotion. So what do I say? Well, when you talk about traveling, where do you want to travel to? And they go, well, I really want to go to, you know, to Philippines, right? And I'm going to say, how long do you want to go? They say, well, I want to go for 10 days, right? I'm going to say, well, what's the vacation going to cost, right? And they say, figure about $8,000. So I say this. That right there, guys, recruited me 58 people in 30 days. Right there. Myself, personally, just my own personal recruits using Facebook chat. Because why? I identified a pain factor, right? So they go, you know, well, yeah, I mean, that would be phenomenal, right? So watch this. I say now, you know, Tom, if $2,500 and $4.95, guess what they always say, guys? I would want to find out more. I would want to find out what do you got to do to be on the team. I would want to find out what do you got to do to qualify. I would want to find out more about that. Can you show me how to do that? This is called connecting them to possibility thinking, right there. They're already spending this money in their mind, guys. Already spending the money. Okay? And it was only $144.95, even if they don't have it, even if they're so far in debt that they can't even get another meal, they will find $144.95 to join your business. Why? Because you hold the blueprint. Does that make sense? When you guys see this now, can you go, oh my God, this is like really super easy. Can you see how this works? Does this make sense, Chad?
100%.
Okay, so let me ask Mary a question. Mary, can you see now how I haven't talked about the company, I haven't talked about a product, I haven't talked about iPass, I haven't talked about Empower Network. What do I want to focus on here? I want to focus on what? What's my focus?
They're paying.
Boom! That's called leverage. Now, a person will not tell you about their pain unless you can get them to an LOL or laughing or kidding around like they feel like you're their best friend, right? And then they will tell you everything, right? So what I will tell you from the standpoint of social media, do you think that it's an accident, Mary, that I would send pictures of my sea turtle friend?
No, that's no accident.
Exactly. The moment that you start to open up your reality, human beings are mirrors. So guess what magically happens? They start to dream. They start to picture themselves on the beach. They start to picture themselves and their kids with that sea turtle, right? And guess what? They have already done. Spent the money in their mind. They've already spent this money in their mind, okay? So, and this right here is their gateway. Now, if you know that this is the gateway and you know that there's going to be mentoring that's going to come with it, and you know that you only need a small little tiny team of 13 people and helping them to get qualified, and you're already halfway there, right? And then you're going to help those 38 get qualified, and you're making a magical $10,000 a month, and you're getting this $297 bonus if you join right now. Oh my God. Do you guys realize that all the stuff I'm talking about right here, you already have it all? You've got a mentor, you've got a system that creates a marketing and advertising budget, you have a blog, right, where you're providing value, right? It's easy for a person to be able to do 2,000. Let's do the math for 2,000. What's the number for 2,000? Let's just see. 2,000 divided by 87.5 is 22.85. So 23 divided by 3 is 7.6. So with a small little tiny team of 8 people, right, that they help qualify, they have a significant advertising budget that they can now run a proper business with, right? And do you realize that $500 a month will save 50% of divorces and bankruptcies with $500? That's a statistic. $500 a month extra income would save half the bankruptcies and half the marriages from going into divorce with $500. And you've got some special sauce gateway that can get them to a $2,000 extra income, right? And you're working with people that have been able to get to $10,000 a month between 30 and 90 days. This is very, very achievable, guys. Now, let me show you where this gets even better, okay? Because that right there is what I call your inner circle. Your inner circle. So you can get to a $10,000 month with this special sauce formula, just with this. But let me show you how it gets better. Okay. So let's say that I set off with an intention that I really want to make a 6 or 7 figure income. Like I want to go blow past this and I want to make a ginormous amount of money. Okay? This rate, and if your team gone through this training right here and you're holding out on yourself to get the black card, this right here is the training and information that you need to go get the money to get black card in the top producer formula. Okay, this right here is only a $500 product. Okay, $500, top producer formula. Now here's what I will tell you. That pays a $350 commission. Let's start to do a few numbers here. Divide. Let's see what it is. 10,000 divided by 350 equals 28.57. So let's say 29 sales. Okay, now watch this. 29 divided by equals 9.52. Okay, so let's just say 10. Okay. So what I want for you guys to realize now is that if you're, do you realize that the average cost industry-wide, straight across the board, okay? So you're not much over that, okay? So for $6 to get the blog, the mindset training, and the top producer formula, okay? And if somebody is a pro member at $97, right, they're at $745 over, right? $5 in total. So you can actually use this as a gateway, and this is what people are not currently doing because nobody's ever broken it down for them where they can really grasp this. Within a 90-day period of time, guys, within a 90-day period of time, this model alone is very, very achievable. That means between you and your team, if you only had 10 people, 10, okay, in your pay line, right? And that's it. They were 10 people at top producer formula level, and you now helped those 10 people get qualified by teaching them this little model. You just made 10 grand. Now, I can tell you that people do that within a 30 to 90-day period of time very, very easily. Your mindset's going to be the first thing that you've got to overcome to be able to believe that it really is possible. So watch how this steps up, okay? So I'm making $87.50, 87.5 for my first level, which is me going out and I'm throwing darts at the board, and I've got to get a certain amount of the snakes in order to step up, right, to get a couple of the little elephants, and then I got to get, 3 of the elephants to step up, And then once I get that, I can get the, two of the turtles. And once I get two of the turtles, I can step up and I can get one of the big ones, right? If you've ever been to an arcade where you take your kids where there's stuffed animals, you will see this all the time, guys, right? And I want you to start to think about the simplicity on how to use the same type of formula to get to not only 10,000, guys, because I've shown you how to do that just with the baseline, right? But I want to show you how you can step up your business to take it to another level. So if I need $87.50 per sale, okay? So in order to get to the top producer formula, after I'm at this point and I'm recruiting, so 500 divided by 87.5 is 5.7, so 6 plus the 3 for pass ups. So I need 9. Okay, I need 9. So if I can have 9 people in my inner circle, I can now step up. 9 people. Now here's what I will tell you. Every single person in this entire industry-wide, I don't care if you're with Organic Gold, Jeunesse Global, Prepaid Legal, Gano Excel, Amway, I don't care what company that you're with. If you do not have a blog with content and you're not providing value to the industry, you are working a job as a network marketer. That's fact. Because there's nothing that's working for you when you go to sleep. There's no videos, there's no blog, there's no content, there's no solutions to people's problems, so you're not positioning yourself as a leader without a blog. Now keep in mind, the blog's only 25 bucks, right? So everybody needs that. So it's not like we're talking about something where, hey, we got this tea, or, well, I'm not overweight, I don't need it, right? Or, we got this coffee, well, I don't drink coffee, right? You got to understand what I'm talking about. But industry-wide, guys, industry-wide, if somebody wants to move their business from being a worker bee to a leader, they need to have a blog. That's fact. I will tell you that for fact. If you look at Eric Worre or any of Danny Johnson, anybody who's a 7-figure or multiple 7-figure income earner, they understand all of these concepts of what I'm talking about right here, right? They understand they need a hub and they need to be putting out value. That's how you get an audience, right? And then you lasso the audience together and boom. This is the next phase, guys, right here. So now, is this, super duper bells and whistles? No, it's not. I'm just typing on a WordPress, or not WordPress, I don't know, Word file, right? So I'm just typing as I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about screen share. If you want to go to the next level, but you're scared of video, no problem. Do one of these. Do a little screen share, right? You can do a screen share on a Word file like this. You can do a screen share on a PowerPoint, or you can just log on and you can surf Facebook, or you can surf Twitter, or you can surf YouTube and explain a specific strategy, right, just by showing people right on the screen. Hey guys, let me show you how to get X amount of leads per day, right? Anybody here, having challenges right now with being rejected by all of your warm market, your friends and family? I just found out the strategy on how to use XYZ, Facebook or Twitter or whatever, Pinterest or, whatever, to be able to generate X amount of leads per day. Does anybody here want to find out how I do it? If I get X amount of likes, I'm going to do a webinar. That's how you get an audience, guys. It's very, very easy to be able to lasso an audience of people together. Now, guess what magically happens when people start listening to you speak and they realize that you really got value? They go, what business are you in? They just do it automatically. What business are you in? Okay, so now we know right here that if we have just hold on a sec. What was the number again here? 500. Okay, so we've already got now, say, the blog and mindset. That was the entry, right? And we're working on that. But what's our goal? Our goal is to get to the top producer formula, because that's the next gateway that's going to unlock the vault to be able to make $350 commissions and to propel us up to the next level in the arcade, right? So 500 divided by 8750. Okay, so it's 5.7. So I'm going to say 6 plus 3 pass-ups. So that means that if I just get in this business at the $144.95, but I already have my site set on this as being my gateway, right? Because why do I want to do that? This generates top producer 50. Happens now. What's my next gateway? My next gateway is to build a team, right? How do you build a team? Okay, now keep in mind, guys, the money that I'm putting into my top producer formula in my second month is residual income, right? So if I'm investing this particular money into here, right, the second month, I've got residual income out of this. This right here is now producing for me $500 a month, right? $87.50 times 6, right? 3 were pass-ups, $87.50 times 6. So I've got a $500 monthly residual income, plus I've now got the ability to make $350 commissions. But what's my next, advancement to get my, I got 6 snakes, and now I got the the turtle, and then I'm moving up. Okay, so what do I need now? Okay, so the team, I want to team building dollar product. So how many top producers do I need to get in order to get the team building formula? Let's find out. 1,000 divided by 350 is 2.85. So that's 3 plus the 3 pass-ups, so I only need 6. So 6 top, and now I'm making $700 commissions, guys. 6 top producers, right? And now I've got the team building formula, and I'm going to be able to, that qualifies me now. The is a $3,500 product, but once that's unlocked, guys, guess what magically happens? I can make $87.50, I can make $350, I can make $700, and I can make $3,000 commissions. What happens? I take $3,500, I divide that by $700 commissions, and it's 5. So I need 8 team builders. To open up that gateway. Okay, so 8. Now, guess what happens? I now am qualified to earn commission. And the entire thing was started with this, which is mass market, mass appeal. It's like, what percentage of that is, okay, 250 is 50%. 144 is about 25 probably 28% or something of what the industry average is for a business, which is the industry average is 500, right? And I'm giving a gateway to a formula for $144.95, offering a $297 bonus if they take action, plus giving them access to Millionaire mentoring, right? Can you guys see how cool this is to be able to do this? Can you guys see how easy that would be to unfold? Just, be honest.
I can,
Yes,
yeah.
that looks good.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you guys. 95% of all that stuff that I just showed you, it's right here. It's what you say to yourself right now. Because I'm telling you, I've done this multiple times, okay, not just once, right? With no marketing budget, with no paid ads, right? With nothing other than this, typing, and this. Skype, a telephone, Facebook, right? Chad's now got Twitter. Now I can tell you this. If you really want to get good at recruiting, okay, the one thing that you've got to get really super good at, what do you think it is?
Breaking the ice and getting them to change their state.
People.
People.
People, guys. The one thing that you have to get good at in this industry is people. That's it. That's it. People. So now what do you got to know about people? Okay. Here's what I will tell you about people. Once you can get a person connected to their dream, where they start to spend the money, okay? So here's an example. So Chad, let me ask you a question. Okay, I say that a lot, guys, just so you know. Hey Chad, let me ask you a question. I mean, if you were making $10,000 a month, and you knew that every single month, like clockwork, you had $10,000 a month coming in month after month after month, would you be living in the same area code or a different area code?
Definitely a different area code.
So give me an idea. So right now, where's your place of residence right now?
Right now it's in Minnesota.
Okay. So when you think about yourself making $10,000 a month, month after month after month, like clockwork, what area code would you want to live in?
I'm not sure the area code, but Waikiki, Hawaii.
Okay, so 808. So imagine this. So you're living in Hawaii, right? And you've got the tropical breezes, and you got the smell of the fresh flowers, and you're out running on the beach and stuff, and you got this amazing just tropical zone that you're in. Would you be living in a apartment, a condo, a little townhome, or a house?
I'm thinking the first step once I move over there will be a ocean view condo.
Okay, so there you are, right? You're in Waikiki, you're in Hawaii, and you're in this condo, right? And it overlooks the ocean, right? Can you see how, as I'm doing this, your brain has no choice but to go there? Do you see how this works? Okay, so there you are, and you're looking out into the water. You're hearing the sound of the waves slap up against the shore and come in and out. It's so peaceful. Is this a one-bedroom, a two-bedroom? What would it be?
One or two. Maybe it kind of just depends, but maybe I might just go with a one and just stack up, scale up my business.
Okay, so there you are in Waikiki, and you're in this one-bedroom condo overlooking the water, and you can hear the waves slapping up against the shore. How many square feet do you think it would be roughly?
Roughly, probably at least 1,000.
So you got this one-bedroom place, 1,000 square feet. It's overlooking the water. Now, you're making this $10,000 a month? Would you be, driving the same car that you're driving right now, or driving a different car?
Different one.
Okay. So what kind of car would you be driving?
A white Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon.
White Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. Okay, cool. And right now, have you ever been in the white Jeep Wrangler?
I have.
Okay. So from what you've sort of looked at, what do you figure you need as a down payment, and what would your monthly payment be on that Jeep Wrangler?
2,500 roughly for the down payment, and then right around 450 for the monthly.
Okay. Now, this 1,000 square foot one-bedroom condo that we're talking about in Waikiki, do you have a rough approximation of what that monthly would be on that?
I'm thinking, I mean, I do want to get into the Watermark building there, which is one of the really high-end buildings in Waikiki, probably the highest end. So I think it would be anywhere between, it would be probably around 3,000, 5,000. I'm not sure if they do one bedrooms. They might only do two bedrooms, but I mean, they're $1 million condos.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do, Chad. Here's what I want you to do, and this is really going to help you along your path. What I want for you to do is I want you to go through Unstoppable Vision, and I want you to really get connected to what it is that you want, why it is that you want it, get to your core driving force, and what I want for you to do is I want for you to go online and actually do the research. Because if you're living in Waikiki, chances are you're going to have to buy the Jeep Wrangler in Waikiki, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you got shipping costs and everything else getting it over there. So what I want for you to do is to go online and to find the place that you actually want to be in, find out what the square footage is, get an idea of how high that you need to be up looking over into the water in order to give you that preferred state. And I want you to find out what it's going to actually cost you, and find out in Waikiki what the down payment is that you need on that Jeep Wrangler and what the monthly cost is for that. Could you do that?
Definitely,
Okay.
for sure.
Now, here's what happens, guys. If I can take Chad off the internet right here onto Skype or onto the phone where I can have a conversation, do you realize I can literally take him into dreamland? Literally, I'm not kidding you when I tell you this. I can literally get him so emotionally connected to his dream that he can taste it. He can taste it, right? So now he's emotionally connected, and I start to say to him, well, Chad, let me ask you a question. I mean, if I was to tell you that we have people on our team right now that do something similar to what you do, right? The same type of industry that you're in right now, and their very first month, they make as much as $7,500 and as much as $11,000 a month too. And it was only $144.95 to get started. What would you say?
I'd say I want to replicate that.
So most people will say, guys, I'm telling you for a fact because I do this all the time, most people will say, I would want to get started, right? I would want to find out more, right? So what am I going to do now? I'm just going to say, cool, watch this video. Right now the video is going to do all the explaining. All I was doing is this, right? My special sauce, my dangling of the carrot, and connecting, right? Relationship with the person, connecting to them, and getting them emotionally connected to their dream. Because everybody's going to be different, guys. Everybody will be different, right? Some people, you find out that they want to make $10,000 a month, right? And it all has to do with their church, right? It has nothing to do with them, right? People want to make $10,000 a month, so that they can build some homeless shelter. You'll find so many different things because there's different personality types, guys, right? Some people are more contribution, right? Charity work, right? Some people just want to be in this type of a thing because it's more for a social, right? The money's not even important to them, right? It's more for friends and connecting and going to events and stuff and being part of something, right? So you got to define what zone that you're in, what zone are you dealing with, and the only way that you can really do that is through something like this. Anyway, hopefully you guys got some good content here tonight, a good value from this, because I can really see this. Once I put some graphics to this, guys, and I start showing that arcade, right, with the little stuffed animals, right, where people are going to have flashbacks of when they were a kid. Right? Now, what do I talk about in my training? That the gateway to the future is in what?
The past.
The past, right? And if you can get a person emotionally connected to that and emotionally connected to the time where they saw their kids light up, right? Winning a stuffed animal, boom. You got yourself your gateway. And that is going to open up zero resistance, right? Zero resistance. Because when I talk about this in just right now with no graphics, let me ask you this. Can you guys remember a time where you were in an arcade? Where you were throwing balls or stuffed animals or whatever, the darts or whatever, throw the thing into the bucket, put the ring on, toss the ring. Can you guys remember that at growing up as a kid? Yeah?
Me, maybe Chuck E. Cheese.
You never went to a big fair, like you never went to a big fair?
Yeah, I don't really necessarily remember playing too many fair games. I was big into video games.
Okay, I'm probably dating myself here for my age. Right, Mary? Am I right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, God, that's funny. Jessica, when you were growing up, did you ever go to a fair or no?
Yeah, I go normally every year. I still take my kids, so.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. How about you, Rita?
Oh, you really want me to date myself? Let's go all the way back to the pinball machines. Baseball. I was top. I always won extras. Free games.
Cool. How about you, Kevin? You're muted there, buddy.
Not as far back as some of you guys, but I used to go to fairs and things like that, and hang out on the rides, and I could actually do them without getting sick, unlike now. But yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let me ask you this, guys. When you are thinking about this type of a gateway right now, because now what we're talking about is a very easy entry price, right? $144.95, something that everybody needs, which is a blog and mindset training to move to becoming a leader, and only 13 people to propel them halfway there by helping those people get qualified, and then the next one, they're making $10,000 a month. Can you guys see how that might be quite easy to be able to market something like that? Yeah,
I do. Yeah, it's mass appeal.
And that's the first step, right? But if you work within this type of formula where they have a specific goal, so get X amount of people to get this type of thing, and boom, open up this gateway, right? Now you're making $350 commissions. Gather your next group of people together, boom. Now you're making $700 commissions and $350 and $87.50. Get another little group of people together. They're not big groups, guys. That we're not talking about having to go get 10,000 people, which is what people are already doing right now in all these companies. We're talking about having to get 6 or 8 or 10 or whatever. We're not talking about a big, massive organization here. Keep in mind, this is the critical factor, that every person that is on your team, when they get qualified, they're sending you 3. But guess what? Those 3 are sending you 3, and those 9 are sending you 3. And that's where we're talking about driving down levels. Now, if you understand that, and you've been in a binary comp plan, or you've been in a unilevel comp plan that pays a certain number of levels, guys, do you realize that our comp plan is an infinity comp plan? Did you know that? Did you know that, Mary? Okay, so watch what happens.
No, I did not know that.
Okay, so this is something that a lot of people, have never, they didn't even know this, right? Okay, this is watch how this happens. Okay, so let's move my qualifiers out of the way, right? Because I don't want to confuse that with that. So 1, 3, and 5 are qualifiers, right? But let's say now I'm on, number 2, number 4, number 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Any of those, when those people on my pay line get qualified, they just sent me 3 people, like I personally recruited them myself. Those 3 people now are going to send me their qualifiers, correct? So 3 is going to send 9, 9 is going to send 27, 27 is going to send 81, 81 is going to send 243. That's not anybody that I did. Those are just my team sending me those people. But it keeps on going, guys. There's not like 7 levels that you're going to get paid on, or 9 levels that you're going to get paid on. You're going to get paid on 100, 200, 1,000 levels down within this comp plan, right? It's got no bottom. So if you're helping those people and doing a little thing like this, so let's say here's what do we got here, and keep in mind, guys, I just threw this out really quickly. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Okay, so let me ask you this: is there anything that I covered here, guys, tonight that you believe that you could not recite on a presentation like this with a little group of people? Is there anything that I talked about here tonight that you think that you could not do?
Not at all.
Is there anything that I've talked about here that's like overly complicated, or you need some sort of like degree or something like that to be able to talk about, especially if it was in slides, right? And you've got a panel of people, right? Now this is where you can bridge, guys, between your presentation, right, and your millionaire mentoring. Okay, so let's say that I have a group of people, total strangers. I never met them before, whatever. I put out a post that says, if anybody wants to get this, right, I'm going to show you the gateway of how to do it. I'm going to go live tonight at 6 p.m., right? Put at the bottom, in fact, I think I did one like this today. It was a little bit different copy, but let me read the copy to you of what I actually wrote that got people that said that they wanted to participate, okay? Here's the copy. Okay. Okay, what the heck? Okay, so let me read you this copy here. Okay, so what I wanted to do, because this is called test marketing, guys. This is what, when people say, Darren, what exactly do you mean by test marketing? Okay, because this is where I discovered this whole thing tonight, okay? My brain started to work, okay? My brain started to work. If I was to tell you that I started a business with only $44.95, that with positive mental attitude and focus, consistent daily action, and quantum physics strategies. That's the unknown, the woo-woo zone that people are like, well, how's that work? Right? That's the special sauce thing. And quantum physics strategies generated $182,899.64 over the course of 3 years. Would it be something that you would want to learn about? If so, write the words "I'm in" below. Okay? So here's what happened. So far, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4 people. 4 people so far that have said that they either want in, because so that's like me literally recruiting 4 or 5 people right there with 1 post. Okay, so we've got Stacy Shapiro, Ivan Campbell, Rex Harris, Michael Charles, Adrian Byrne have already said, they've already expressed interest, plus there's been 12, 13, 14, 15 more people that I can reach out to that have hit the like button, right? So they may have hit the like button thinking in their mind that that's how they're saying I'm in, right? But they didn't type it. So that's what I'm talking about on a strategy. People say, Darren, how is it that you can recruit 7 people in a single day? That's the way, guys. This, right? This. I dangle something out there that's my carrot, right? And I got some special sauce. Remember I was talking about on the last time we did mentoring, what's behind door number 1, okay? So what you guys have to understand as a front person is that you have your team behind door number 1. You've got your millionaire mentor behind door number 1, right? And you've got to be on the front and own that like RoboCop and become bulletproof. That's what turns you into a top recruiter, guys, just so you know. You've got to be bulletproof on the front line where it doesn't matter what anybody says. It ping-pongs right off of you. And that comes from what? This. Mindset, belief, speaking your reality into existence, understanding that you can either get everything you want over here or you can get everything that you don't want over here. Whatever's going on in here, whatever's coming out of here, whatever you're writing about and typing about, right, and whatever you're feeling about, right? So if you're like, oh, it probably won't work for me, right? Then chances are it probably won't work for you, right? So you've got to get to that state where you go, hey, hold on a second here. This is easy. I can do this, right? Heck, if Darren can go out and recruit 58 people in a 30-day period of time with a product this price, why can't I? I could do that. So let's say that it took you 3 months. Let's say that it even took you 6 months, right, to be able to do that little formula. I've told you that not only have I done it, guys, but students of mine have done this too, between 30 and 90 days to be able to get 10,000 a month, right, with this little tiny formula here, right? Small entry, a little formula, right? The team's going to get qualified, times by 3, times by 3 again, boom, 10,000 a month, right? Can you guys see how that would be achievable to be able to do, say, in a 90-day period of time or even a 6-month period of time? So let me ask you this. Let's say that you were, you were just working part-time, right? What if it took you a full year, but at the end of the year you knew that you were making a $10,000 monthly income? Would that be worth it? It would, wouldn't it? Right? Because you know what the formula is. The missing link, guys, just so you know, is bulletproof. Where you really accept the fact that if a person wants to be a leader and have a life, okay? Because you can be a leader and be on the phone from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m. the following morning doing the 3-way call model. You can. It's like a job, but you can do it. It is possible to do. But it's not freedom. I would not consider that model to be the model that I just had in Hawaii, right? I'm playing golf with my parents. I'm out sitting by the pool. I'm walking, looking at art galleries in Lahaina, and I'm having $1,000 days while that's going on, right? Totally different type of a lifestyle. Would you guys agree with that? Totally different type of lifestyle, right? I wasn't on any calls. I did a couple of hangouts that lasted maybe an hour and change, right? I think 2. But other than that, it was just a great holiday. Great way to get away. Anyway, guys, here's what I will tell you. If you are just seeing this on YouTube and you are thinking to yourself, you know what? I want $10,000 a month. I want that life of freedom. I want to take my life to the next level. And you have reached a breaking point where you say to yourself, you know what? I will no longer stand for this in my life anymore. And you raise your standards. That's where it starts, guys, just so you know, right? Anybody can do this if you're coachable and if you're prepared to go, you know what? Stuff that I've done before, it hasn't worked. Maybe it's a good idea that I'm just going to get a mentor. Maybe I'm just going to take action, click the link below, and just get started now, guys, because there is a formula here that works, and I can tell you this, we've got dozens and dozens and dozens of people from all walks of life that have done this, guys. Gone from nothing to freedom. People that were bankrupt that have made over 600 grand, right, with our company. 15 verified millionaires with this type of a formula. And there's no reason why you can't be that next person. So I would encourage you to do this. Click the link below, right? Just take action. Throw your hat over the wall. Heck, you've probably gone out, if you're a guy, you've probably gone out with the guys for beers and blown $144.95 in some time in your life. You've probably gone out with your wife, or if you're a woman, you've probably gone out with your husband for a weekend or something and blown through $144.95. I'm telling you this for fact. This right here, with Millionaire Mentoring, working with a team of like-minded people, can literally change your life so that you will never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. So you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. I look forward to saying welcome on board, welcome to the team, and we'll see you on the other side. Hope you're having a great day. Be good.